let's get this console finished up, mounted so we get the seats in this thing. All right. Now, you'll see where I kind of overthought something on it, but rocket science just make mistakes. There wasn't a mistake that I thought there was a mistake. Everything did good. Let's go. Let's get it mounted. Start off with, we gotta hook up the antenna to the radio when it comes on. It's just a little booster for it. Kind of supposed to take out some of the static noise if there is any. There shouldn't be, not from how the engine's set up. But we're gonna try to get everything. All this white metal I had in here, it made a mess. I got one of those rolling sticky things to take care of that though. But we're gonna hook up the rear speakers to it. They're not hooked up yet. Rear speakers. Throw some power on that amp and see what you got any sound to it all. All right. So here we go with that. Find my fittings and all my ends and what all. Get her going. I did power it up the other day and it's coming on. Everything, all the functions are working until I get the amp cut on. We can't hear it because it's going through it. And I thought the radio would play without it, but apparently the way I got it wired, it don't. So it'll come on with the power source. Anyway, here we go. What I'll be using, just like I used all throughout the truck, I got the male side here. You get these off like Amazon or something. They're cheap. I decided to go that way just to have the right plug in case somebody wants to take it out. They just unplug it, whatever. Anyway, we're gonna put these ends on, and I think most know how to use it. If not, I'll do a little short video right here of it. First things first, let's cut our wire kind of short of what we got here because we have way too much. And you can bury a lot of this or wrap it up, zip tie it, and cover it because you're going to have, rubbing over the gears, shaking, whatever. You don't want to kind of wear into it. Then you want to run just a small loom on your other wire just for rubbing and carry on. But let's we'll use this right here. I think my wire strippers are buried in there. I couldn't find them. You don't need much putting these pins on because the back side of your pin, the top part of it here, goes on your insulation. The second crimp parts go on your wire. So, like I say, I think I did a video of this a while back. Any of the new followers want to follow this? Never done this. It's pretty easy. Drop your pin in like so. And basically just lay your wire in it. It does have a hole where if you can thin some wire out and push it further up in there, you can. Crimp her down. If you never worked with it, so just get it crimped down the best you can. The smaller wire, let's work a little better on this. I think I had intentions to use the black and green ones on this. But anyway, let's grab us a female end out. So on this particular one, of course, your positive is your red stripe. Be pretty simple to hook it up. Red stripe in there. So we'll match that up to the writing on this other plug, because the writing on this plug, being it's not marked, is the positive side on this one. So let's get them in there and see how it works. So after you get your wires split back, we gotta go with the black wire. The gray one that we've seen, it goes to this mess here for later on the future, if I can make it fit. I don't know if I can or not, the way the console is and the speakers or the seats. I might be able to get them in, I'm not sure, but I got some small woofers just to add a little bass that goes behind the seats if they'll fit. If not, hey, we'll redo it and do some more different. But anyway, we got our red stripe. We'll match it up. Always match it up to make sure, you know. I don't go by pin numbers. I just go by, when I'm building these, I just go by the match, you know. It's the easiest thing to do. So just match up your positive and negatives. Should be fine. So as I was testing everything, again, everything came on. The radio, fans, charger, everything did. The thermostat, all of it did for the cooling, for the amp. Everything came on. But when I went to cut the amp on, we built a fuse. Now I only tested with a 20 amp fuse. I think it's a 40 amp that goes in it for, you know, for a load. And anyway, we're gonna chase this down and see if there is a short, or if I got a wire across somewhere. It's a simple wiring. I mean, what could be wrong? Pretty simple. So here we go. Let's see what we find. All right, so after a few tests, so that ground on that plug is one of the grounds that goes to the radio and the amp. I can plug just this end in on the ground and it all works. The radio, not the amp. Checking that ground and that power, there is no power there, because this wire here is what leads it to the outside. When I check my continuities on the ground and you positive on that plug right there, they're touching. The only thing I'm guessing is, you know, when you put your ends on, it could be a little wire crossed over, because the ground and positive is real close on the amp. It could be touching there. But to get to it, we're taking her out. Get everything unplugged, get her out, get her on the operating table and tear it down and see what happened. Because I'll have to tear it down a good bit to get to that amp. The amp is located down in there. I put that tape on there. I don't know why. I think it's the thermostat on top of it, the temperature probe. When it gets so hot, it comes on. But anyway, let's get her out, get her on the operating table, and see what we find. Okay, she out. Let's do some digging. Work our way back into the amp. I don't think the radio got to come out of it. It might, but I just want to get where I can see those wires. See what's going on. Like I said, it may not be nothing. It could be can't load it to a 30 amp. Turn it on. I don't know. I know it's a 40 it runs off of. But let's get here and see what's happening. So here's the issue. So you see two different plugs here, but you see the red going into your negative, and then of course your negative on the other side is going into your positive. It's swapped. Now when building these wiring harnesses, of course the truck and the console wasn't together, so I just wired them up as well. It don't work that way. It will blow a fuse. So here's what I had to do to improve this. I added another plug. It's backwards there, but your positive crosses over to the negative side now. I gotta make that change in the wiring harness. And when somebody sees that, they're probably gonna think, what in the world is that? So it's just a mistake made, you know, that, like I say, the console is 20 feet from the truck when we built it, and you wired it right. You wired it the way it's supposed to be. I mean, positive and negative. But no, they're backwards. Of course, this manufactured here in China, but it's a different plug than these. That's what I thought. Now, same thing happened on the thermostat. We find him. Same thing happened on the thermostat. It goes to the fans and the cooling system in the console for the amplifier. So what I did there, being it don't have a bigger draw on it, nothing real big, I just did a crossover so you can still unplug it. So it was crossed over, of course, shrink wrapped and all the mess, but it's still plugged in where you can unplug it. Man, if I do sell the truck, I mean, somebody does some wiring repair, they're gonna have to look at the wiring and see what's going on if they have a problem. I don't think they will though, you know, unless you go jacking with it. Now the fuse for the therm is back there underneath the therm. It's blowed, so we'll have to change it. But anyway, everything's working on it now. We're in the process of going ahead and finish installing this. I do need to come off that still. I think I mentioned it already. With a small tube that goes into the AC on the console. We'll worry about that after I get it mounted. I can still get in there and get to it. No big thing there. But anyway, let's get the console mounted. I gotta add some more heat back to the vinyl on it. It did good during the heat, but when it got cold, on that plastic, it kind of wanted to come up a little bit on me, you know, places. But I just throw some more heat on it, shrink it down some more again. Anyway, let's get the console mounted and check it out. Got the therm working again. And if the fans do come on, you don't want them on, you hear them. They're little bitty fans. They're hooked up to the AC vent. They draw the cold air out. I think there's some video or some pictures on it. But you can always just shut it off. You cut the fans off or cut them back on. Don't forget to cut them on when you're traveling, you know. If you got the radio turned up, the amp starts getting warm. Anyway, that's pretty much how our therm works back here. And it's located on the back of the console. The chargers, you know, always check your voltage. We're 11.8 right now. Phone charger hooked up. Charge my phone. You got that. Then on the bottom down here, we have another. You need to have another charger or something you want to hook up to a USB. It's back here on the back. You can reach it. It's pretty easy back there. But anyway, here we go. All right, so I got it sitting in there, all the wires tied up. They're supposed to be. I put that Bigfoot on there just for comments. But anyway, next is the seats. We'll get her going on, but it's a job tucking all that in. I got to push that carpet underneath a little bit more on that side. The other side is okay. It's up underneath it pretty good. The cover kind of goes out a little bit, then down, so it's got a little edge on the other side. But all my trim pieces, I do have a plug that goes in the tank switch, which remounted it, and I got to re-shrink the vinyl on it. The doors, everything made it, but it got like 110, 112 degrees. Then it got real cold, so that was a good test for it. But you know, hey, try it sometime. The only thing I do have to redo is when it gets hot, I'm gonna have to find some better Velcro, because this got hot enough to slide down when it got hot. It won't even come off there now while it's cooled off. It's stuck on there, so I'll have to heat it up and get it off of there. Anyway, she's on there, and she works. Everything comes on. The phone Bluetooth to it, telephone, everything works. You can use Bluetooth, or you got a USB port. What you want to use, you know? What you want to use, works out. Got our little mic up here. But there's no alternations to the truck. My camera quit on me. So if somebody wanted to, if they bought the truck and wanted to rip it all out, put 86 back in it, I've got everything, go back to 86, you know? So let's start on these seats. I'll get that passenger one in first. Use it for a template, what all, to do this side. I've already got it, but I'm gonna put the passenger one in first and see how everything's gonna be looking over there. I'll do all my carpet, brush holes. But hey, she coming on this week, and hey, check back next week. If the weather's good, we'll continue. But tomorrow being Saturday, supposed to be nice. That video won't come out till next week, but we'll start on these seats. So there we have it. Console's in. I gotta tuck that carpet underneath a little bit more and heat shrink, like I say, the vinyl again. And back when it was 110, 112 degrees, I kept checking on it and held up good. It didn't shrink. I guess it got down to 0 out here, or 5 degrees. That little cold spell we had. I guess then it kind of want to shrink some more. Then on it's on, now you shrink it some more. So it does that. I know the doors held up good, but anyway, sorry about that. Some company show up. But anyway, we'll get the vinyl back right, get the carpet pushed up some more. And if you look on the back side of the console, you'll see the speaker wires. When the threshold and everything is down, everything is mounted. I'll go back in and do the hole. Those wires, I hide those. I don't want to do anything until I get the carpet and thresholds screwed down. So next, I'm looking at them over here. Well, I'm looking in the facility where they're at. Close. Digging the seats out. You remember back, I think we covered the passenger side. It got the plastics and all that on it. So I guess that'd be first. We'll do the passenger side. Use that as a template to do the other side the same way, where the holes are going to be at. And that's the only holes in the truck. The truck's not going to be, it doesn't cut on it. You know what I mean? So somebody want to put the other seat back in it, they can. But the only other holes to be cut will be for those seats I'm putting in it. I have to cut 4 holes on both sides. Other than that, the truck's not cut on any kind of way. But anyway, thanks for watching, and let's get those seats in there, and then we'll go back to the dash part. Try to finish this interior. Trying to play with this weather. That's the hardest part, is weather. You know, I'm outside. I know I haven't put anything up in a while, but we got to go with what we can get, you know. Uh, if it takes 5 years, it takes 1 year. But anyway, I'd been done with it if I was inside, but we're not. We'll try to get moved this next year. Maybe I can get moved and uh, put the projects inside so we can have more content, more on it, because I've got two more behind this one been waiting on me. And they still got them. They still call and talk to me once in a while. I told them if they want to keep waiting, keep waiting. Truck's probably going to rust down to nothing until I get to it. But anyway, we'll see y'all next week. Have a good one.